Hi, babes. Welcome back to the Chase Life with Kelly show. I am your host, Kelly Chase. We have a guest on the show with us today. Some of you, if you're Netflix fans, reality TV fans, then you will most likely know this individual. I had the pleasure of meeting her about a month ago, a few weeks ago. We shared a mutual friend and former brand manager. And anyways, I had dinner with her and she's such a delight. And so I was like, I got to get her on the podcast. I wish that I had thought about it when she was in town to have her on the podcast and we could have done it more in live in person, but whatever. We got her on the show this time, this week. Sydnee Falkner. Let me tell you a little bit about Sydnee Falkner before she comes in. So basically, she captivated audiences on Netflix's hit reality series Million Dollar Secret. I had never seen the show, and I might start watching because it seemed extremely interesting. But she's not just a rising star, she's a movement, a force in health, wellness, and female empowerment. Sydney went from small town Alaska to the big stage, bringing with her a rare mix of grit, grace, and game-changing ambition. Raised in the heart of the wilderness, hunting, filleting salmon in her backyard, and learning resilience from nature itself, Sydney's journey is anything but typical. Her rugged roots are the foundation of her unstoppable drive and unapologetic confidence. Initially on the path to becoming a mechanical engineer, her curiosity for the human body led her to pivot into kinesiology and biomechanics, where she graduated summa cum laude. From there, she soared in the world of medical sales, dominating at industry giants like Stryker and H.B. Fuller. But Sydney's ambition couldn't be contained by one lane. She built an inspiring brand at the intersection of fitness, modeling, coaching, and now television. Of course, because the world needs people like this, right? A lifelong lover of fashion and modeling, Sydney even auditioned for America's Next Top Model, a moment that sparked her journey in front of the camera. Since then, she's walked the runway of Phoenix Fashion Week, starred in Fox 10 News fashion segments, and worked with brands like Painted Citizen and Lumix. A former bullied and introverted girl who once made herself small to survive, Sydney now takes up space with purpose. Heck, she proves that brilliance and beauty can coexist, that strength can be soft, and that there's nothing more powerful than a woman who leads with both fire and heart. Sydnee Falkner isn't just making waves, she's redefining what it means to be unstoppable. All right, guys, welcome to the show, Miss Sydnee Falkner. Hello.
Hi, Kelly. Thanks so much.
I'm so glad to have you here. I was I was giggling earlier when I was recording your bio. I was like, yeah, I probably should have had her on the show when you were actually physically here in Atlanta a month ago.
That was really good timing, honestly. I'm glad that we did dinner because that was just so much fun and just getting to know each other anyway. But yeah, next time we'll plan that differently.
Yeah, I just was like not thinking. I guess I wasn't thinking. I'm like, I don't even know this girl. So I'm glad we did the dinner because now I feel like we just vibe. So that's
Oh,
good.
100%.
Yeah, I loved it. Okay, so you starred, make your major star debut on $1 Million Secret.
Yes, they just finished filming season two. We got renewed actually, which was phenomenal because it was the very first season of our brand new show with none of us were influencers, none of us were celebrities. We were just regular people,
Yeah.
and the audience loved it. Thank goodness.
That's amazing. So wait, so when you say they renewed for season two, do you then go on it again? Or
No, so I will not be on season two. It's brand new people. I'm hoping at some point they do like an all-stars cast or something like that. I think would be a lot of fun, but they'll probably need a couple seasons under their belt. As far as I know, which I don't really know anything, so I'm just speculating here. I think the goal is to try to keep it like your regular type of people, which is pretty cool.
good. I
Yeah.
feel like they do that. I mean, even, I was looking at some of the cast for what are we on season 9 or 10 or 8 of Love is Blind, like whatever season we're on. I was looking up some of their because whenever they released the cast, I went and like just, was curious and
Yeah.
browsing their Instagram. And I didn't find any that were like had crazy followings yet or anything like
Yeah.
that. So I like that too, where it's just they're just taking like quote unquote like normal like
Regular
non-discovered.
people.
Yeah, like I think that's super cool. So Yeah, so I love that they're doing that for this show too.
Yeah, it was fun. It was exciting. I think there's something to be said for being like the season one, right, of a show.
Mhm.
And of course they're gonna make improvements and things will get better and people can catch on to gameplay. But if you're season one, you're the blueprint.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Is there, we'll dive into like all the things, but like just off the cusp, is there anything that you wish that you had done differently, or like how you showed up, like anything that's just off the top of your head?
Yeah, I wish I would have been probably more sneaky and deceptive. I'm not a good liar, but there were certain things where when I finally got to go in the trophy room and get a clue, I had the thought to come up with two clues because I knew it was Kara. I knew she had the money. It was just that intuition. And so what I wish I would have done is, give everyone the regular clue and then pulled people aside and say, "Hey, I have a second clue, but it indicates someone," and just kind of see how that went. And I had really been thinking about that and I wish I would have done it. That was kind of one of those things where you're like, it would have changed the game type of thing.
Man. Well, maybe they'll do an all-star show and then you can
I
like,
know. And then I'll be like, okay, here we go. But
yeah.
I
Yeah.
think the hard part was also is there's obviously a social aspect to any type of challenge game or you're going to form alliances. It's not always going to be one, you versus everybody. You will form alliances, especially early on. And for people, I see a lot of fans are like, I hate it when they do that. Everyone does that. Traders does it, Big Brother does it. A Survivor does it. You have alliances in the beginning. And I think the social aspect is really important. I placed a lot of emphasis on the challenges, which was a struggle because I did really well at them. And I think I was in the trophy room the most. I only got one clue, but I was in the trophy room the most out of everybody. And then you're like, okay, well, only one of you gets the clue.
Mm,
And I was kind of like, well, why did I put all this effort into winning then? If,
right.
it comes down to some of this stuff instead.
I always like, if I had the opportunity, like go back, or what I wish that I had done was just be a little bit less reserved.
Yeah, I should have been probably more reserved, and that was my game plan going in. I was like, I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna be very middle of the ground, I'm gonna be quiet. And then, at the beginning of episode 3 with the whole Lauren thing, I was like, you guys don't see what I see? Are we not all? You don't see me, I see you type of thing. And I'm glad I wasn't. And my leaving statement was very true. I thought that I played the best that I could. There were some things I maybe should have done a little bit differently. And it's just kind of the hindsight's always 2020.
So true. I know. I know. It's like, well, we wish we could go back, but like that's how we were in that moment. And like, you know.
And I don't think people understand you're secluded, you're by yourself in these areas. We did not have interaction outside of the cameras being on. So you went to your room, you didn't have a phone, you didn't have a TV, you didn't, you had your little journal that you were writing and driving yourself crazy, writing down the craziest little things that may or may not be something. And you really don't know how to play it, all the while being conscious of the fact that, for me at least, this will be on TV. And
Mm,
I need to be aware of being true to myself and not trying to play or lean into a character type of thing because it's reality TV. And
right.
even still, I was not prepared for how fans react or how much they get into these types of shows.
Yeah. Yeah. Because wasn't like you don't watch a lot of reality TV
I don't even
either.
own a TV.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
I
Yeah, I
don't
can't.
watch reality TV. I don't think even when The Bachelor, The Bachelorette were at its, prime at the beginning, I don't think I've seen a single episode. I've maybe seen one episode of The Bachelorette because this guy I was dating was gonna go on it when I met him. But I was like,
Yeah.
don't get it. They seemed messy and it's hard too because you don't know how the edit is. And now even seeing certain things, I'll watch commercials and it'll be advertising a reality show and I'm like, mm,
Hmm.
you
Hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I'm the same. I mean, I do have a TV, but I was not like when people are like, "Oh, I don't normally," like they'll approach me and be like, "I don't normally watch reality TV, but I watched your show," kind of
Yeah,
thing. And I'm like, "That's great." Like I honestly I don't choose to watch reality TV either. Like I did watch a few seasons after
for
season
sure.
one, just because I felt like I wanted to support the cast and that kind of
I'll watch
thing.
season two, for sure.
Yeah, and it'll probably like you kind of feel like okay, that's like kind of like your community now. It's like okay,
Yeah.
support these people. And just because it was like the hot thing to do, also, a little ego in there. But the last few seasons I haven't watched, and granted, they show you so many teasers on social media. It's like I know what's going
Know
on.
what happened off of TikTok, for sure. TikTok, Instagram Reels, I can gather what's going on pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. But I like watching, just regular drama TV, like real acting stuff. And yeah, knowing like I mean, yes, I had watched probably one season. I think it was one or two seasons of Bachelorette. Like that was it. But otherwise, like I just don't I always thought I was like, it's so toxic, it's very messy. It's just they're obviously like pinning people against one another and it's just gross and it's like made up drama in a sense. And I just like it was so toxic and we don't there's already so much negativity out in this world. Like, why do I need to feed my brain more toxicity and drama?
You know my guilty pleasure show?
What is it?
The Great British Baking Show. That's
Okay.
my that's my guilty pleasure reality TV show. That's the one that like it's a feel good, everybody's happy, they all support each other. Like if someone's about to run out of time on their bake, people are helping them. Like it's just wholesome and feel good. So I'm like, all right, that's my reality, that's my Super Bowl.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I love that. We will again, that's positive, but people
Yeah.
definitely get stuck. And just like you were saying, like the reaction to you being on the show and like, just the reaction of everyone that had watched the show and how people, I mean, they just go up on your social media and they just troll and they like look at everything. And it's interesting because like, so obviously like the next season of Love is Blind is coming out. And every year I get like the few comments or like the few DMs still because our show, and it'll probably happen with you as well. But when the next
I'll go
season,
back.
it auto like plays the first season, and so people start watching it again. And or what's happening now, I'm getting some comments, like, "Oh, he dodged a bullet with you." I'm like, y'all, this is like 5 years ago. Could we not?
Everybody's okay, actually.
Yeah,
Everybody's
we're all good. He's married, has a baby on the way. Like we're good. But it's just funny. I'm like, oh, okay, these people are like catching up like to the seasons before the next season airs again. I'm like, geez, Louise. It's
I
just
will say I've gotten, I mean, at first it was really hard. Now, I even just got a DM the other day actually, and it was really, this lady wrote me, she was super sweet, and she was like, "Hey, I usually don't watch reality TV, but this came on. I want you to know I really appreciate how you handled yourself. You played with such integrity in class." And that was kind of what I wanted, but and I'll get stopped every now and then still, like it'll happen in the Sprouts grocery store, it'll happen in the airport a lot. Clear security, for whatever reason, they always recognize me. But the weirdest one that happened, it was the first time, because I'm in med sales, so I'm in the hospitals a lot. And I was getting ready to we were implementing this entire hospital in New Mexico. I had done education the day before with this group. It was some of the same people, but some of this new group coming in. There was like 15 of them in front of me. We're waiting to get started. I'm waiting for people to come in, and one of them goes, "So, we saw you on Netflix." And I'm just like, it's the first time in my work environment this has happened. And so they wanted to chat about it, and I was like, "You guys still have to listen to me. You still have to like use my product and all of that thing." But they were really funny about it. It turned into like this running joke.
yeah, I
But
love that.
it's weird because then it crosses over into my everyday type of life.
Oh yeah, it definitely does, and it will continue to now.
Yeah, comments on one of my TikToks, a girl goes, "Oh my God, you're the glue. I thought you looked familiar. You're the glue girl that was in my hospital educating us and doing a trial." And I was like, "That's
That's
me."
me.
How's it going? Is it going well still? I think so.
Yeah, it's a really interesting world to navigate. I mean, like when our show aired, I was working a different corporate position and I told them we had like a little like small group, like weekly, like, kind of like I don't know, team gathering in a sense and team building exercises. And we were going around and I was just, it was something about like I pulled this like out of the hat, like what's like something like a really big secret you haven't told anyone, or like what's like your really like a really big fear you're going through right now, or something like that. And this was maybe like a month before our show aired. And I was like, so, because I was like, I'm gonna have to tell them. Like, this is like I can't not. Like this is gonna be on Netflix. Like I've just gotta say something. So I decided to like out myself during our little team building thing. And they were like, wait, what? And they're like, wait, like you were on reality TV? And I was like, no, like the show hasn't come out yet. Like it's going
Uh,
to.
yeah.
While I still like I'm working here. And they were like, what? That's crazy. But it was so funny because of the way, the narrative of my character went. I
Yep.
remember there was one girl from my team who like gave me like side eye, like stink eye. And like I asked one of the other girls in my pod, and she was like, yeah, she just didn't like the way that you handled that situation. I was like, she knows me. And she's like literally listening to what's happening on the TV. Like,
That's
what?
the hard part. And because they're 45 minutes per episode, it's edited. Yes, we say or do certain things, don't get me wrong, but it's jam-packed to create the most impact
Yeah.
and drama. I didn't, besides telling my work that I was doing it, I told my manager and like two of my VPs, we had a little powwow because I let them know, hey, it's this kind of show, blah, blah, blah. I didn't say a word about it again to anybody. And one day when it was getting the coming soon, one of my VPs sent me a picture and it was me screaming at the snake, like, and he goes, guess what just popped up on my uh put on your watch list? And I was like, oh yeah, I did that thing a year ago. So surprise everyone, here it comes. And everyone with my work has been super supportive. And even my manager, we just had a call the other day because I've kind of maybe looked at some other shows or maybe some fun things to do. And she goes, I fully support you, but you have to give me enough notice before you leave because, go chase your dream, but
Hmm.
also it's going to be hard to replace you. And I was like, no, Lisa, I do love my job. I'm very lucky with what I have and, the flexibility and my patient or the facilities and patient care and all that stuff. But it's really cool to see so many people, including in the workspace, support you with that.
Yeah, no, I love that. I mean, it's interesting too, because like our show, like I said, our show aired in 2020, and I was at a corporate job. Then I took like a year and a half break. And then so I started a new corporate job just
Mhm.
2.5 years ago. And I mean, with the same thing, like they were all very supportive. I mean, the owner of my company knows that I was on
You
TV.
know it comes up when they do a background check or something. Like you
Yeah,
can't Google your name without it popping up.
right. Yeah, exactly. And
So,
like even clients of mine, they're like, I'll go to meet them for the first time, and they're like, I Googled you. I know who you are. I'm like, okay, awkward.
I always make the joke. I'm like, I'm a really nice person. And that's one thing, because when the comments start coming in, right, and they're negative, I'm like, all you have to do is look through my social media to see who I really am, or get a better idea, or have a conversation with me.
Exactly.
So,
Yes. Yeah. And there's
but
so many positive comments and positive DMs that you'll
oh
receive.
yeah. Those
But
are the only ones that I filtered words. I was like, people keep
good.
deleting stuff. I was like, hey, if it's my social media, if I want to, I will. But why do I need to see the negativity? Or someone
Right.
said, well, she only likes positive comments.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I do. For
Yeah.
sure. No doubt about it. But the majority have just been so positive. So many women have reached out to me just thanking me or saying they thought I played well or I was a good example. And that's what I really want to do is lean into that women empowerment, women community, women connection, building each other up instead of always tearing each other down. Competition with women can be great. Men are compete all the time and it's no big deal for them. But it's a different type of competition.
Absolutely. No, it definitely is. And it's interesting because like I just returned from a women empowerment conference in New Orleans, and it's just
Fun.
I loved, yeah, it was great. I spoke in like 3 panels. It was really super fun. And it's just neat being around like-minded people who are there to collaborate and like lift you up versus compare and compete with you.
Yeah, isn't it
Such
crazy?
Yeah, and but women are, we're like our biggest like haters. Like we just tear each other down, and it's just
It's
we need to put ourselves in more environments like that, and obviously do our own work on ourselves to, really be more confident in ourselves and pass along that confidence and just inspiration to other women.
well,
We're
it's
all in
funny
this
because
together. Like,
it used to be so community based because, the men would go and hunt and provide and this and that, and the women were the ones together all the time. So, yeah, I don't want to have to compete. When my friends do something great or get a really big win, I'm so happy for them. Them doing well does not take anything away from me or what I'm doing at all.
absolutely. That's how it should all be. I mean,
Yeah.
be each other's like biggest cheerleaders, and I love that. Okay, so you grew up in Alaska.
Yes. Here
Right.
now, back
Yeah,
home,
you're
visit
there now.
my little 500 person town. I asked my parents, I said, how many people are here now? And they said Glen Allen proper, probably 400. And I'm like, I really was small town.
Yeah, that's real small.
We're small.
Like, how many people did you graduate high school with?
My graduating class was 30 kids. It was the biggest class. I think in our high school and junior high combined, we had maybe 100 students.
Um,
So at the time, and now we were what was considered 3A for sports, which was like within us, we're at the low end of it, but now I think they're 2A because it's gotten so small.
oh.
And my
Oh.
mom was a teacher at the school, so I couldn't get away with anything. And my dad scared everybody in town, so I couldn't get away with anything. Everybody knows everybody here.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. That's
Yeah.
wild. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you experienced like bullying when you were younger. And
Yeah, and it's funny because I think bullying looks a lot different now with social media, especially.
yeah.
Whereas before, it still makes an impact. You're left out of certain things, rumors go around, people, especially in a small town where I couldn't really find connection or friendship, and I didn't understand it because I played all the same sports, I was in all the same classes, but something was just different about me, I guess. And a lot of the people I went to school with are either still here or somewhere in Alaska. Not a lot of them have left.
Hmm.
So I'm one of the few that's actually left. And now bullying, it's kind of scary the way that people can just hide behind online stuff. You have AI now, which makes all kinds of crazy things. Uh,
Mhm.
it's a I think it'd be really hard growing up in this type of environment now, and I really did struggle back then. I actually ended up going to high school very briefly in Arizona to get away from everything because I was struggling out here, and my mom missed me too much, so she brought me back. So I had a whole Arizona does year-round school, so I started in July. I had a whole month and a half extra of school than everybody else.
Yeah.
But I made the AP classes, I made the volleyball team, I had the basketball team scouting me, so I was doing really well there. I wanted to be in fashion design, so I was taking fashion design classes, things that you just couldn't get up here. And so part of me wonders if I where I'd be if I had stayed down there, and then part of me is really glad that I came back here because I'm so grounded and rooted in who I am and my values that my parents instilled.
Wow.
It it's very different. So things happen for a reason.
They do. They definitely do. Does a lot of that, with like wanting to be like more in like women empowerment and just leading women, does a lot of that, have to do with, or like would you want to go like speak to schools, like, youth, and like be a champion for younger age groups?
Yeah, I definitely would. I think when I was younger, I wanted connection and female friendships so badly. And I was introverted. I was very quiet. I was a bookworm. I loved to read, but I loved to play dolls and dress up. And I just wanted to have all the girlfriends like you see in the movies, right? You have your best friend from this age to this. I don't talk to anybody I went to school with.
Mm.
I was with these kids for 12 years. we did all the same sports together, all the same classes, here every summer. And I guess technically I texted one of the guys I grew up with that was basically my other brother, and he doesn't talk to anybody either. But it's really strange. And so because I always wanted some type of connection and female connection for whatever reason, whether it was me or them or a combo because kids are awkward and all that stuff, I started to just kind of try to figure out other things. And I think I really maybe set myself up as being, I'm trying to think of a good way to put this, like too wanting it too much. So it came across poorly. And then you can't attract things when you're in that kind of state of mind. And so I kind of struggled a little bit with self-love and self-acceptance and wondering, what was wrong with me when I started to feel more who I am and stop trying to shrink all the time. And I talk about this at the show and my exit speech. I was always trying to make myself smaller because you're too much. You're too this. Oh, other people are jealous of you. And I'd go, I'm just me. I don't
Mm.
want people to be jealous of me. I'm just myself. I just want, I'm looking for friendship here too. And it's exhausting always trying to play small for other
Yeah.
people to feel comfortable. And once I realized that was not my responsibility, I attracted some of the most wonderful people, some of the best friends I have ever now that would do anything. And they show up and they support me and they're on my side. They love me enough to let me know, hey, Sid, maybe you could have done this differently, which I don't want a bunch of yes people in my life anyway.
Right.
Because what's that gonna do for me? That's not gonna help me grow.
That's so true.
And I
I,
think especially with how social media is now, having those conversations with the younger generations is really critical.
mhm. It definitely is. I mean, I feel like as an adult, a 40-year-old adult, social media gets me, like, I mean, I've had my insecurities. I've played small because of just my own just fears and self-doubts. Although, it's like I've done so much mindset work and inner work and healing and all this stuff. It's like the journey never ends, of course, in that regard. But I have like I find myself if I'm, I get caught in like the doom scroll and then I wonder why I'm so anxious or depressed feeling for 3 days later.
Oh,
And I'm
you're
like,
preaching to the choir.
yeah, it's terrible. Like even this morning, I was like, okay, Kelly, you're gonna go into Instagram for 30 minutes today just to answer some like DMs, which unless I like post something radical, I don't get a lot of DMs, which is great,
Yeah.
But um I would like
Comment
to
back to
have more
people.
DMs.
Like, comment back to people, look at the DMs,
Yes, and
like,
like
support
make a post or
fun
something.
stuff, make a post, be
But I'm like,
productive with it, and then
yes,
get out.
get out. Yes. Granted, did I do that? No, I did not. But
Baby steps. Baby steps. We're trying.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait until like after we record the podcast episode to upload the things from this past week. I got to do some other things, but a little bit more intentional today. It wasn't like doom scrolling forever. I mean, obviously, I work 9 to 5.
TikTok is what gets me because I'm trying to be consistent with it, but I can't get out of like the 400 views. And I'm like, this is so stupid. I'm so tired of this. Like, it's so annoying.
Are you posting like just like once a day, or what's your posting for?
Right now, I was posting multiple times a day because they tell you, they're like, do this, and this is how you grow. And they have 40,000 likes on it. And I'm like, okay, I'm doing exactly this. But guess what? I'm not out of TikTok jail still. So I think I'm still working on finding like that niche. One of my good friends, he's actually one of my exes, but we're really good friends now. It's so funny because he's a big bodybuilder, so he's always posting workout stuff, and it just wasn't hitting. And he started doing food reviews. He's like, "Is it cheat meal worthy? I'm eating the calories so you don't have to." And he's getting like 60 to 200,000 views on those, and then he'll try to post a workout video and it'll just flop. So I think it is about finding your audience and your niche kind of.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, I pulled back. It's funny. I'll like post on TikTok like once every like 4 months. I feel like now. I'm
I'm
just
tired of it.
yeah, I'm doing so many things. Like I just want to like, okay, where can I I also try and get into like future version self. right? And it's
Yeah.
like if I'm spread so thin, I'm not that future version self. Like I'm more of like this person who is trying to be all the things and I can't be all the things. And I want to like you have to think like or I guess my mindset goes into like, okay, these like celebrities, right? Like Selena Gomez, like they have people probably posting a lot of things for them. They have teams, all of that, I'm sure. But like the accessibility, the availability, I'm like, okay, essentially, like my goal in life is to have a lot of freedom while, I'm creating impact while I'm making an income.
Yes.
I am chained to my phone. And that's how people like that's how I like make my money is because I'm talking to my phone all day long or whatever. It's like that doesn't create freedom. That's the furthest thing away from freedom. So like, yeah, maybe bringing in a lot of money. You may have a cult following, but like you're stuck
Yeah.
in that. But it's weird because like I'll go like I went just like 4 days the other day without like posting anything to my Instagram stories. And I felt really disconnected from my audience. 4 days. I'm like, but I was so busy and so exhausted. I was like, I just can't effort right now.
I know.
It was just
That's
like,
kind of like I was talking with because I'm trying to get better about content. And then some days I'll get like really creative. Like right now, what I'm trying to work on, because obviously people are like, I can't believe you're from Alaska. And there's that trend going around like they think I don't know ball, but I know ball.
yeah, yeah,
Which
yeah.
so I'm working on a little TikTok or a little reel with that where it's like me with the diamond dress and like they don't think I'm from Alaska. They think I don't know ball. And then it's all of these rural things that I'm doing, flying with my dad, going out to the river, seeing like we saw a moose on the drive-in, that type of stuff.
It's
And it's
so
fun.
fun.
I'm like, I need to just execute though. I just
Yeah.
need to just do it because I start getting in the perfectionistic. Well, this isn't lined up right, or I didn't cut this right, or maybe I could have done this wrong. And I'm just start overthinking and obsessing when I like just post it and be done. You'll get better the more you do it, but you just need to do it.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. I literally downloaded a course. I just came across a post yesterday and literally I've never heard of this account, wasn't following them before. It was a whole course on self-sabotage. It was like, bingo, need it. And I just bought it and started like binging the first module, doing the journal prompts. I was like, yep, okay, I definitely needed to like get
Imposter
this out.
syndrome is so real.
Yeah, imposter syndrome and like why we procrastinate, but then why we're such like perfectionists around certain things. I'm like, I just want to be like, before Love is Blind aired, I was like talking to my camera. I would just post video. Like
Yeah.
it's like there was no hesitation. I would just post and I would have a good message. I'd have a strong message. It was all great. And then afterwards, it's like, I don't know if it's because, I mean, granted, I said something a little politically incorrect like 3 months after our show aired, and I felt like I got canceled from the internet for a little while.
Yeah.
And so there was like a trauma there. So I feel like that just kind of was pretty deep rooted into like, oh my God, people aren't going to like me, or they're not going to understand what I'm trying to say, because what I'm trying to say is maybe a little bit more expansive out there than what maybe the normal mind can think sometimes.
What's hard too is because we're supposed to be authentic, right? We're supposed to be authentic, we're supposed to be real, we're supposed to be relatable, but part of that includes I might say something off the cuff and maybe it wasn't PC and I didn't mean to offend or hurt or anything like that. And here's my thought process on it. But people don't give a lot of grace anymore, which is also wild because your everyday person, some of the conversations I overhear immediately canceled.
Yeah.
Immediately canceled. You could never speak that way.
Oh.
And so I think that's the other thing is I'll overthink too is, or, maybe I'm having a bad day and I just want to vent and rant and I go, because there are people that could relate to that,
Hmm.
but you can't do that, or it's not a good it's not as good to do something like that. And so it's finding the balance because of course you don't want to be stuck in a negative cycle or something like that, but also the fake positivity or toxic positivity can get to be a lot also. And then that
Yeah.
starts to take a toll on your mental health.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely. I know it's like sometimes I'll try and post like I want people to know more like who I am, and that like I do feel that I don't go, not that I'm trying to like get too controversial or too political or anything like that. Like I'm not that. So like I feel like I have the ability to hold space for different perspectives and perceptions. So it's like I was telling my podcast manager recently, I was like, because of that, I feel like I talk myself out of posting things sometimes versus like if you and I were just having a conversation and you said something about, let's say it's political, and then I just gave you my response, I like on the internet, it's not I wouldn't do that. I would be like, what'd you say?
Internet is forever.
Yeah, the internet's forever. And I'm just like, I don't like I can't give that type of response because it's not an immediate like reaction. Like I sit there and I think about it and I'm like, well, I could see this side and I could see this side and I could see this side. But it's almost like I don't have all time and day to like sit there and share every perspective that I have on a particular topic. And then at the end of the day, I'm just like, I don't really care either. Like, whatever, it's moved on. Let's
And
go
I
to
think
something else.
there are so many people though that'll reach out and be like, "Oh, I really appreciated this." So it really does bring people together, which is really awesome because we did not used to be able to have all of this
True.
before.
It is true. It's very, very true. Um, yeah, I mean, just sharing your story brings people together, right? Like, there's no need to like get like all political or controversial or whatever. Like, what you believe in from your core values, of course, share that. I feel like, anyways.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. But I think just more of your, people wanting to know you, getting to know your story, what you want to do, the things that you're ambitious about. And, it's like people want to know that and like things or challenges that you've worked through or challenges that you're going through. I feel like that's like one of my biggest things, like with vulnerability, people would always comment to be like, I don't know, there's such like I don't know. People discuss that often in like the entrepreneurial space where they're like, yeah, I never share like what I'm going through until after I've overcome it kind of thing. And I'm like, yeah, but some people want to hear like the vulnerability of like, this stinks. Like I'm going through this right now and I like, but then it's so relatable because someone else may be going through it too.
They're human, and then it allows us to connect with more people, and so people don't feel as alone, which is really, really great as well. Because
Yeah.
I mean, I even see it. I'm like, and I have to remind myself some things when I'm doom scrolling, like highlight reels, right? That's why I love some because we're both into fitness. I love some of the fitness posts where it's like posed versus unposed, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like 2 seconds apart. But here's what I look like when I'm completely relaxed, and here's what I look like when I'm in my bikini pose or something. Because our bodies really do have so much variability and change even from second to second. I could drink, 12 ounce or 16 ounces of water and then look like this when before it was this. So I appreciate the kind of transparency that it allows.
I agree with that. But it's true. And it's so funny because like content, like I know what you were saying earlier about like, okay, there's kind of like an art to like maybe it's like a certain niche or style of content that you're looking to create. But it's like, but it almost becomes like what I have experienced. It's like, okay, but I am so multifaceted. Like I could post my like a workout video or me talking on a stage or the food that I eat or me just all dressed up for like my bikini model runway fashion shows kind of thing. And it's like that is all of me, like and so a lot of, some people be like, Kelly, well, my podcast manager recently, he goes, what do people ask you the most? And I'm like, what do I eat and what's my workout routine? I said, but like I don't want to necessarily like teach
That's not
people
all there is.
that's
That's
not all I am. That's what I like. I mean, a big portion of my life for quite some time. I mean, I was a health and fitness coach. So like, yes. And though I have evolved and I have transformed over the last handful of years, and I like talking about entrepreneurship and I like talking about mindset and dating, relationships and girl talk and like I like talking about all that kind of stuff. So I have to like embody it and like put it out there. But because of like trying to find that like one thing to like go viral with or whatever. It's like, okay, well, I don't know if I could keep that one thing going all the time. And then I feel restricted and then I'm like, wow.
like I just want to yap. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just
That's what I
gonna
got. Yeah,
post and what hits, and whatever else.
exactly. Which I feel like that is the best That's the best strategy in my eyes because people will get to know you and they will or get to know the both of us. It's like that's all we want.
Yeah.
Just people to get to know us.
Everybody's looking to be seen, really.
Yes, that is so true. That is true. Okay, so what I want to, I'm like, it's gonna ask her about this personal stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, how has dating been since the show versus make compared to before?
So before I was in a relationship, I think we were on and off for about 4 years, but we ended things a day and a half before I left for the show.
Wow.
Yeah, day and a half. And then you get on set and you don't have a phone for 3 weeks, which is good because I will fully admit I kind of go down the rabbit hole and I check the Instagram and I blah da 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 da. So I had to quit cold turkey and it was great.
Wow.
I haven't really done any dating post show just because it's been so busy. And it's been very interesting. I had a girlfriend bring up, which you maybe have dealt with this too, where they're like, "Well, how do you know if they like you or if it's because you're on Netflix?" And I was like, "Cool, I didn't think about that, but now that's something that'll sit in my head forever." I'm not on the apps. I'm not doing any of the apps. I have been kind of going out a little bit more with girlfriends, but not necessarily with the intent of trying to meet someone or anything like that. I'm so busy with my regular job because I cover 5 states.
Mhm.
So busy traveling with that right now, and then also getting to do all the fun entertainment and influencer things. So if I end up meeting someone and it's more organic and fun and they can kind of hang with my crazy lifestyle and we have a lot in common, I think that'll be great. I will say when I was younger, I was so kind of intent on having someone because again, I didn't have those female friendships and I'm good at being alone, but that also gets exhausting. We're built for community. And
Right.
so I stayed in certain relationships that I had no business being way too long. So, lessons learned and getting to see now just how people act with me, how they interact with me. I need a lot of mental stimulation. I can't do some dry conversation. I don't care how good looking you are.
Totally.
If we can't chat or it's the, you know, abbreviated WYD or something like I'm just like, okay, this is
Yeah.
at all. And I don't understand how I think dating has changed a lot where people don't really do it anymore. You're in a talking stage and then you don't know how many other people they're talking to. People don't want to have hard conversations with social media and the apps. It's very easy to just be like, oh, we had one type of conflict. I'm out. Or I can find something better or something like that. And I am definitely more of the old soul where I want that lasting connection. I always joke. I was like, I'll never be divorced, but I'll be a widower.
Right? Yeah.
So
Hmm. It's very, what would you say is like your, I don't know, like what's a strength of yours in a relationship? Like to keep a relationship abreast.
I have really worked on communication, healthy communication, and I like to be there and support my person. I'm a little bit more traditional in that, I think, not as in I'm gonna mother you and do all your laundry and this, that, or the other, but I do like taking on that role of supporting and being there and encouraging what they're trying to accomplish. And I think since I'm not always just trying to see what's in it for me, I like to give a lot. The problem with that, of course, is that I will do that to my detriment at times, and people become used to that. I was raised very independent. I was joking with my dad the other day, actually last night. I was like, thanks for making me so independent because now I insist on paying for everything, and guys get comfortable with that. And then I'm
Oh,
like, what did I just do actually? Because I don't want to be a burden. And now I'm like, no, that's okay. If you ask me out, I'm grateful to enjoy your company, but a dinner, yeah. And my girlfriends and I joke because people expect a lot for the bare minimum now. A dinner does not equal going home with you.
No, absolutely not.
No, like some people, sure, totally fine. Not me. It's just
Mhm.
not gonna happen.
Right. I agree. No, me neither. No, definitely not. That's
And,
good though. That's great. That's good healthy boundaries, healthy standards, good
well,
stuff.
it's funny because I was just talking with my parents about dating. I ended up after my last relationship, I ended up making a list. And
Yeah.
and some of it's things that you would be like, duh, Sydney, but it's to keep in check. So it's this Excel spreadsheet I have of all these qualities, mental, physical, emotional, etc. And it's yes, no, or compromise because nobody's perfect. Nobody can hit everything. I get that. Some things I'll compromise on. Like, okay, I love having my door open for me. I love it. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel special. I dated a lot of guys who would do that automatically. Is that going to be my deal breaker if they don't do that? No. If they smoke, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's a deal breaker for me type of thing. So I have this list for when I'm ready or when I meet someone to go back and keep myself in check because I will start making excuses for people and I'll let certain behaviors slide. And
Hmm.
then next thing I know, I've compromised everything that I want.
Right.
And I'm kind of like, I don't like looking at it as transactional, but there is a certain amount of ROI, you know?
I agree. Absolutely. Yes. No, I love that you did that. I mean, it just brings awareness. It brings awareness to things. And if you have that awareness, then you know what to do, what not to do, kind of thing.
Don't get it. I get attached. I am a lover girl. I love being I'm a monogamous, serial monogamist for sure. I
Yeah.
love having my person. I want to do the date nights. I want to do the movie nights, blah 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 blah. But then you can start to accept behavior that isn't okay when you're just looking for that. And so as I've grown, it's easier to stay detached and go because I used to be so worried if someone liked me. Friends too, right? When I was looking for girlfriends, do they like me? Do they like me? Now I kind of go, do I like them?
That's a powerful thing to ask yourself.
Yeah, do I actually like them? Do I enjoy how they make me feel? Do I enjoy spending time with them? Or am I always feeling like I need to prove or earn something there? Because if so,
Mm,
that's a red flag.
Very big one.
Yeah.
I love that. It's that's a really good question because there were, I mean, again, I'm 40 and still single, and I feel like my some of my dating history from I don't know, probably like 2014 to 2019 was a lot of guys would pursue me. I didn't know if I liked them, but because they were pursuing me, I'm like, oh, they want me.
Yeah.
They would kind of get me and then they would like, not want to actually date me kind of thing. But then I was like, wait, like now I'm more like, wait, I can't get caught up in that. Like they chased me, they pursued me so hard, but wait, I even like them? Like, no,
Yeah.
no, no. This is my decision, not
Yeah.
theirs and get all like weird and so whatever. Like, but I fell into those traps so many times that I'm like, and then it's almost like you're just like you're like lost. I mean, I just was losing
Yeah.
myself in so many different guys that I was like, I don't even know who I am. I don't even know what I like to do for fun. Like it was just not
And here's
cool.
the Or I would always go, well, I've been in it for this long. I've been in it for this many months. Like that would be wasted time. Not really thinking about the fact that, okay, so 2 months versus 2 years versus 20 years of your life. And I've ended a lot of relationships this way. Not me personally, not like in a home wrecking way, but my friends, whenever they were having issues, because and this doesn't go for every like he didn't put the dishes away. Okay, that's different. But I there was this one old best friend of mine. She was dating this guy and we had her and I had just met. Like this was maybe the first time we were hanging out. And I asked her, I said, if he didn't change at all from who he was right now, because of course we women, I think especially, we see the potential.
Mm-hmm.
We fall in love with that, or we start to really like that. There is no guarantee that the person you're with will ever change. And you shouldn't be with them expecting that they will change. It's not fair. So if this person never changed from who they are right now for the rest of your life, would you be happy? And if the answer is no, guess what? Because they might change. Hopefully, you're with someone who wants to grow with you. People need to grow and expand. Some people don't.
People don't.
And you cannot project your want or your seeing of their potential onto them because they might be perfectly happy being where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
you need to let them go. Find someone who aligns with you more, who wants to grow with you, who sees their own potential, because
Mhm.
you will waste 2, 10, 20 years waiting for them to hit potential that they might not ever do.
Absolutely.
So I've had a lot of friends tell me they're like, I ended the relationship and now they're happy. One of them's engaged to someone else. Like,
It's
and
great.
it's hard. It sucks because it doesn't mean you don't love someone.
Right.
But
Exactly.
I have realized love is not enough either. You have to have common goals and respect and reciprocation and so many other things.
Hmm. That is so much the truth.
Yeah.
I got stuck in a relationship situationship for 5 years because I was like, love him, love the potential of this person. I need the potential of this person to show up some point. Like, let's go. And it was just never happening. Never happening. And it's funny because like I actually thought about that situation recently and I was like, you know what? I had so much expectation on that person. And I wonder if they had expectation on me. Like I like also like they wanted me to be something that I wasn't,
Yep.
you know? It's
Yeah.
fascinating.
I
So
had a guy who's like, I wish you weren't as attractive so that way you would get less attention when we go out. And I was like,
said that to you?
yeah. I was like, oh, okay.
You're like,
Sorry.
so I'm pretty.
I don't really know what to tell you about that. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's wild. I would not, no. I want my person to be like, this is my girlfriend. Here she is in all her
Fine.
glory.
For sure.
Yeah. Show me off. Show me off. I was telling someone I had gone on like a date with, and I had gone out with some girlfriends and some like I think he was 23 or 24. Again, I'm 40, right? Guy, like this 23-year-old guy comes up and like hitting on me and stuff. And anyways, I like the next time I spoke to this man that I got on a date with, I told him and he got like, he just reacted with like a jealous comment. And in my head, I was like, you really about to get jealous about a 23-year-old hitting on me? You should be like, yeah, bro. She is
Yeah.
like, yeah, she is awesome. Like, so cool. I'm like, I would never, like, I wasn't doing anything. I was literally
Yeah.
just having a conversation and I was very direct, with the kid. Like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm kind of dating, but like, I am very much out of your league, honey. Like, I
Yeah.
am a
Yeah.
lot
Yeah.
older
Sorry.
than you. You have a lot more life to live before.
Yeah. Go do your thing. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
He was so funny though. He was so cute. And
Yeah.
then he was like, but are you sure you don't want to just like have some fun? And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't
Yeah. And that's where I'm like, sorry, you lost me on that.
think so. I was like, there are so many other pretty girls in this like restaurant, bar, club, whatever we're at. I was like, go find one of them.
Yes. Thank you, but
Yeah.
no.
Thank you, but no, it was so funny. No, but that's really great insight. And I'm like, it makes me happy to like hear you say that and just breathe that life into the women listeners and even men listeners. It's like just having that insight. Do I really like that person? Or like, like that it really is such a profound question because we get so trapped and we get so lost and caught up in they're choosing me, they're wanting me. Like,
Because we've been into the fairy tale, right? The little kid stuff. I do. I love Disney and I love the fairy tale books and I love the romance and I love the rom-com and all of that. And it's all based on the guy choosing you. And so if I was chosen, it was this big deal and I got to be chosen. And half the time I'm like, looking back, and a lot of them I loved. I did deeply, but I didn't like who they were. And then they made me not like myself because I became a different type of person.
Yeah, I hear that. Same. So now we know, now we have our lessons, and
I know.
now we get to choose. Okay, so what are you doing? Like, what are your, obviously you're having like brand opportunities and you just did this whole like Barbie cover photo shoot.
Yeah, so
How's
fun. I've gotten two magazine covers so far, and it's so funny because if you put them side by side, they look the same, but they're different. They're both cowgirl. Well, one was in Mesa City Lifestyle, cowgirl themed. It was fantastic. And then the other was Blur magazine. It was more fashion based, but the cover is like glam, glitzy Arizona cowgirl. So it's like these two contrasting cowgirl covers,
love
which is
that?
so fun. Uh, I have another one coming out that I'm excited about as well. So that'll be fun. And just kind of working on brand deals, seeing what's coming out, maybe doing some fun stuff with jewelry and some clothing. Like I said, kind of been looking at some other shows, maybe seeing what's out there, what's right for me, and just really enjoying the process, honestly.
That's so great. You have to like enjoy the journey and the unfolding of everything, you know. Like you never know which one of those opportunities is going to lead to something else, or which all of those opportunities will lead to, you know, just a maybe a different path that you just aren't even like we're not even aware of. You know, it's like that fully surrendering to the unknown of like what else is possible out there. It's really
And
cool.
I started taking acting lessons because I would love to get into the scripted work. I think that would be a little bit more up my alley than the reality, so we'll see. But doing scripting, working on taking like interview and hosting classes, and just really kind of expanding into things I've always wanted to do because why not?
Yeah,
Why not
I love that.
this year? Why not? Why not me? If
Yeah,
I can do it, why not me?
absolutely. I love that. And I mean, I just feel like you're doing the most, and I love that about you because I feel like it's funny. People are like, you haven't, like, people will question, they're like, wait, you have a 9 to 5? Like, I thought you were only like an influencer, only doing your podcast. And I'm like, no, no, no. Like, I'm
I'm
working
still
a nine
working,
to
still
five
doing all the
still.
things.
Yeah. And then they're like, how do you have time to like date? Or I'm like, well, I don't, but I mean, I
Yeah,
do,
I'm
but
like, no, not at this time, but
yeah, no, but I just think it's very inspiring to find someone else who is doing the most and you're just leaning into what's lighting you up right now. And I think that that really is the journey that we can't always be like so stuck and fixated on like the destination. It is the journey and like just doing what lights you up. People have asked me, they're like, what's your like 5 year plan? Like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I'm like, the only thing I would really like that is the constant is like to have like an actual like committed relationship or be married in 5 years, you know, like I want that. But like anything outside of that, I'm just really in full surrender mode. But as long as I am taking actions that light me up and is like making other people feel heard and seen through what I'm doing, then I don't know where professionally what that's going to look like in 5 years. I may just be a stay-at-home mom. Like, I don't know. And
and I
and
think
I don't mean to say just a stay-at-home mom. I mean a stay-at-home mom because
sure.
that is the biggest job in the world. Like,
And I think also one thing I'm really grateful for is the opportunities I've gotten to meet people like yourself, like some of the other girls. We have a little Netflix girls group chat of everyone in Arizona that'll get together and do things because it's people who have kind of gone through a similar experience as yours. Because it's hard for people to understand until you go through it. You know what I mean? And because of that, now I get to see the amazing things that you're doing and that gives me inspiration for something. Oh, well, I didn't think about this avenue, maybe I want to try that. And it's cool how we can build off each other. And how would I have met you otherwise? You know what I
yeah,
mean?
right.
Amazing women I'm getting to meet now.
That's so true. I know. And I'm so glad that we did connect and Tony put us in touch and now you're here. You're on the show. I love it. And yeah, like however I can support you further. I mean, I'm happy to, I know I'm states away, but like I can come to Arizona anytime. Just
Yeah, please do. It would be so much fun.
so fun. I know. I do have a couple, like I have
It's
some,
not 120 degrees, so
well, yeah, yeah, maybe not in like July and August. I
yeah.
maybe come then,
But now
but
hockey should be good.
yeah, yeah. I think I came in October like a few years ago and it was very nice.
Yeah, it's great right now.
Yeah. So we'll definitely stay in touch, of course. But tell people where they can find you. I know I could talk to you for like ever and ever, but I know you got some plans with your dad. So
Yeah, so all my socials are Sydney with two E's dot Falkner, no U. So my parents didn't do me any favors on name spellings. I can't find a keychain. But Sydney dot Falkner, you can find me on TikTok, you can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Facebook, all of the socials, all of the things. Follow me, shoot me a message. I love to chat with everyone. So,
but well, thank you so much for being here.
oh, thank you. I had so much fun.
Me too. Yay.
Bye,
All right.
guys.